concentration. How often do you concentrate?
This is a lovely question. I think my mind is always concentrated somewhere, whether consciously or unconsciously. However, that conscious focus I put on while I'm studying or I'm playing some games.
Okay. Can you concentrate at two things at the same time?
I think human brain is not designed to focus at two things at the same time. However, it shifts so quickly that sometimes we feel like we can do multitasking. However, we aren't doing it in reality. Yet there are some tasks that can go along. One intellect and second is physical. While I can actually clean my home while listening to music, or I can cook something while talking to somebody else. There are some certain tasks that can go along, but not all the ones.
Okay. Tell me, is it easy for you to concentrate?
I don't think so. Concentration means you have to master and control the thoughts running into mind and channelize them into certain direction. That comes with an ages of practice. However, I think when I try to focus, it takes 10 to 15 minutes of intense work. Afterwards, I think I'm able to focus at something. It's not difficult, it's not easy.
Tell me when it is difficult to focus.
There come several situations when I find quite, a daunting task to concentrate on something, especially when there's a noise around. So where there's noise, there's no concentration. Apart from that, when there's a distraction, like I'm sitting with a family member or there's somebody to mock me, I think I feel quite nervous, and that nervousness leads to a distraction in my focus.
Well, that's the end of part one. Let's talk about the cue card.
Sure, sir.
You have a topic. Describe a new store or a shop that had recently opened in your country, more precisely in your city.
Sure.
So you should talk about where it is, what is sold there, who goes there, and finally, how successful do you think it will be in the future? You can take a minute to prepare if you want.
Okay, that's very fine. So, let's get started.
Yep.
Sure. For a start, regarding a shop or a store that has opened in my town, I would like to say that, start with the phrase that my town has undergone a dramatic transformation, and not only this, the whole world is changing, and change is the only reality of the world. The store is none other than it's a food outlet called the Red Rooster. I still really recall that it had its opening on 23rd of March last year. It is located at this magnificent and venerable location they call NBD Mall. That is a frequently visited place by the youngsters, and it is also known as the Youngsters Paradise. So, the kind of customers that it sees are the young people, as it specializes in Chinese, Italian, American, and of course the South Indian food, which the North Indian really don't like, especially the old people. It's just specific to their traditional food. So if there are 10 people sitting, 9 out of those 10 will be the youngsters, right? They are the target customer for the shop. The owner of the shop is Mr. Rakesh. He's my good friend. His father opened this store for him. I think this store has a bright future, only because this is the only store in my entire city that offers this range of food. Otherwise, they're the restaurant that only specialize in one type of food only. As he's the only one who arranged 4 different chefs from different countries. They're not from India. If there's an Italian, the chef is Italian. The Chinese made by the Chinese person. Okay, so he has invested a lot in the store. Plus, the food, despite all this investment, is quite reasonable. Okay. You can actually fill your appetite by spending only under 500 rupees per person. So that's the store I think that is open, and I'm really glad
Yep.
that it opened.
Okay. Let's move on to the part 3.
Sure, sir.
Here are some questions related to this particular topic. First one of these is, what kind of shops are popular in your city?
There are big chains which are very popular and had a large, number of customers, especially Big Bazaar. There are thousands of people who go to the store and buy stuff for their daily routine. Apart from that, Vishal Mega Mart is one of those chains. Plus, if I talk about the food outlets, there is a small shop called Agra Tikkiwala. So it's way too popular for its taste. And many people copied it, but they cannot deliver the quality of food as it does.
Okay. Tell me, why do young people enjoy going to some boutiques?
I think boutiques are for young people. Today they are very concerned about their outer look, and without the good appearance, they will experience the least acceptance in the society. So in order to get into the society or feel confident or get acceptance and the respect, they really need to maintain their personality, due to which they generally pay the frequent visits to the boutiques.
What do you think location, kind of part location plays in attracting customers to a shop?
I think location is the only concern with the local shops, as they are known by a very few people. They need to be at a place that is visited by the large number of people. That is why these shops are located in the main market. However, the big chains and the known brands, they don't need any location. People would go to them no matter where they're located. For example, if you see the KFC in India, they are generally located in the outer suburb of the city, almost 10 to 15 kilometers away from the main city. Yet they are always flooding with a number of people. So I think location is only the concern from local shops, not the big brands.
Tell me, how important price and quality are in influencing consumer behavior?
I think they are the only concerns when it comes to shopping. For a person who has a minimum or a normal earning, he will be definitely affected by the price he pays for stuff. While somebody who is earned handsomely, there's a quality which he is more concerned about. So I think these are the major aspects that that can actually influence the behavior and the decision, the purchasing decision of a customer.
But I have one more question. Why is cheap fashion so popular these days?
Only because it can be afforded by a large number of people. We can see that there are only few people who can afford expensive fashion, right? And they are the majority of them are those who are always busy in their work, so they do not even follow the fashion. So the fashion freaks are those who who are free, or the youngsters who do not do any job, or they are not really paid well, so they generally buy things which are cheap. So that's why that makes, just because the cheap fashion have more number of the customer and the followers, that's why it is more famous than the expensive